Hey, howdy folks. Hope you can hear me okay. Just give me a shout as to whether we've got video and sound. Hope everybody is exceedingly well this week. Let's have a quick look who we've got in. We've got March West Andy, we've got Sodor Dandaman, we have Simon from Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase. We've got Tony. Hello, Tony. And Dia. Anybody I've forgotten? Tim Maslin, hello. And John Ricard, the redoubtable Dutch Dane, not Dutch, Danish. Like the bacon, fabulous. Thought I'd do an Andy and sit out in the shed playing trains. Admirable. Looks like we've just got the weather window for it at the moment. Nice and sunny, little bit on the chilly side, 68 around about there. Not complaining. It's better than rain and wind that we've had and all that kind of stuff. Today we will be doing some Robin Grace are in. Hello, RGJ Trains. Nice to see you. Nice. What have we got today? Just laid 5 row of track for more storage. Oh, great. Okay. There's Lyndon. Hello, Lyndon. Nice to see you. I gather my little bars are twiddling at the bottom, so that tells me I've got sound. Can everybody hear me okay? A 5x5 would suffice. Anthony Dodge, welcome in and very good morning to you. Nice to see you. Today I'll be 5x5. Excellent. Thank you, Dan. Today I'll be running some Pennsylvania. I've been waiting for this moment. I've got some of Richard's engines and rolling stock down here today. All should be silent at the moment. All you should hear is just me, because the sound on these are, what are they? Broadway Limited import engines, and they are quite loud. Even though I've turned them down a bit, they can become a bit feisty. Yeah. So I've just kept them in silence for a moment. I can actually get them running, so you should be able to see something behind me. Let me just adjust my picture a little. Right, so let's just move the first one off. It's moving. Now, I did have quite a long train on this one, so I've just taken a few of the coaches off because it was a hell of a strain for it. These are heavyweight passenger coaches, and they are exceedingly heavy. So coming from this direction will be the Turbine S2, which is an absolute monster. Pulling some Pennsylvania coaches that we've just got. These are fresh in, as in fresh in second hand. But there you go. And I will go on to the other one and we'll get that one moving. She's moving. Yes, she's moving. And on the other track, that's the S2. We've also got the Q1, which is another monster, an absolute monster. That should be sneaking into your picture very soon, coming from the other direction. Is this DC or DC, Andy? DC. I can prove that in a little while when I bring the sound up. Moneybrook Junction. Hello, Mark. Nice to see you. And there she comes from behind me, which is, she'll be going that away. That away. There she is. Let's get out of the way. It's a a 4-4-6-4 wheel arrangement on that one. So it isn't articulated locomotive, but yeah, what a whopper. This one came up and I saw a flurry of activity from Richard. Nice long trains today. There was a flurry of movement from Richard, and I saw him just grab this box and bring it down, and he was pouring over it, and I thought, oh, what's he got there? I didn't pay that much attention because I was looking for some other bits and pieces. But then out came the plastic, and I thought, oh, this is an instant buy. What has he found? Yeah, it's the Q1, which is exceedingly rare in this country to find one at all. And then the only thing is, does it work properly? And yes, it does. So, yeah, absolutely delighted with that. The reefer wagons there are NTH, and they roll exceedingly well. And we've got a rake of other 40-foot type. I'm just keeping an eye on the passenger train, make sure we don't lose any cars. 40-foot box cars and some stock cars on the back, which I believe are also 40-foot. And Pennsylvania caboose on the end. Look, I'm pointing. Yeah. So what's happened this week? We've had the aftermath of the show at the NEC. Lots of videos out there. Nice to see. Graham, nice to see you. Leamington Station, welcome in. As a reply to the second hand, we should all remember that after we are just custodians of these trains and can outlast us for decades. Yes, hopefully so. As Richard is a little not so far along life's rather stony path, then he should have them a lot longer than I will. But there you go. Need a pointing stick, Andy. Yeah, I ought to invent one. Yeah, I'll work on it. Key Model World Live was a different show, but a great difference and enjoyable. Yeah. Robert's train set. Welcome in, Robert. Nice to see you. And Ryan, sure, I hope it's going well. I did have one little pointer which said, I sounded like I was talking with running water in the background. And the only running water you should hear is the gentle clickety-clack and sounds of the two locomotives and the trains. So I purposefully started the live stream with no sound and no trains running, just to give me an idea of what the ambient sound was in the shed. And in your shed, have you got cardboard buildings like Metcalfe, or have you gone for wood resin? Nothing wood, nothing cardboard, because they will warp. My cardboard ones have warped over the winter, sadly. Yes, I found this out. I originally, in the station over there, had some cardboard Metcalfe platforms, and they deformed badly. It took a little while, but deform they did. The constant changes of climate in the shed worked on them quite badly. So I go for resin or plastic, and that's about it. Only if I can't find anything in plastic or resin will I then go for a cardboard, and then you could treat the cardboard to lessen the effects of the climate. But thanks to all who've said hi, thank you. Yeah, nice one, Robert. Well avoided. Yeah, otherwise it's on the tippy tappy. Felt so when Rob stopped the locos last night. Didn't like it. Yeah, once they're running, it gives you a rolling feeling. I don't know if that's just me, but obviously not, because now you've said that, when the train stopped rolling, you feel that there's something missing. Wolfsex Scenics, hello Paul. That's Paul Wood. Hello Paul. Nice to see you. Remember to smash the like button, everyone. Thank you very much for that. Kyle Stevens, hello there. Running some Pennsylvania stuff today. So our American and Canadian cousins, I'm sure they'll like this kind of jazz. So yes, a freight train and a passenger train behind. Not sure if the S2 ever pulled a passenger train. I would imagine it did. I would imagine they tried it on various things, but it's a monster of a steam turbine. I have cardboard buildings in the loft, and they've been up there for 3 years, and they're fine. That's okay, yeah, but this is not a loft; it's a shed, and it's a bit more isolated. So, of course, the humidity and the heat and the cold affect it that much more, and you have quite a swing. But there you go. You could always treat the wood or cardboard. They have not been varnished, but in a shed, I think they would have to be, to negate the effects of the climate. That's all I can say there. I never tried it. It warped so badly, it was beyond redemption. So bin it, just bin it, and started again. And I thought, well, I know they're expensive, but I'll go for the Bachmann Scencraft platforms, which are quite heavy. You can't jog them without noticing you've jogged them, because they are heavy, and you feel it. So yes, Pennsylvania S2, Pennsylvania Q1, which is an absolute monster. A 4464. So yeah, these are fabulous models. I mean, Richard certainly knew what he was doing when he got these. They're odd as well, and articulated with a 4 and 6 driving wheel arrangement, and the Q1, which is, it's a bit like our Turbomotive, very similar way they've done it, but they've just gone about it in totally different ways. I'm going to varnish the ones in the end-to-end layout. Oh, okay. I'll be interested to see how that stands up to it over a length of time. How about the track? How much does the temperature change affect them? Well, I negated that by using a rubber adhesive that we know as Copydex, and I used the Woodland Scenic track bed, which is a foam, quite a stiff foam, but forgiving, and it expands and contracts, and I don't notice it, because obviously what I've done is successful. There hasn't been any buckling in the last 4 or 5 years, and we've had some severe temperatures going up to nearly 100 degrees. So it's been over 100 in here sometimes, because obviously the sun beats down on the roof, and everything below it just gets hotter and hotter. Those are technically not articulated engines. Well, possibly not. With the Q, it does have 2 sets of driving wheels and 4 cylinders. So how they've gone about doing that, I don't know, but it looks very much articulated to me, in the same fashion as a Challenger or something like that. What's best to secure Kato track to plywood? Well, that's interesting, because Kato's got the track bed already built onto it. I've got to add some engaged Kato track to our club's test layout. I'll be setting up the entire layout soon. So I suppose you could do it with copy decks, because if then you want to change it, you can just peel it off. It's almost cohesive rather than adhesive. It sticks it well enough once it dries to whatever medium you're putting it onto. But then I found if I have to change points and things like that, I can literally tear it up. The ballast, because I've used copy decks for the ballast as well, just sits there and the track comes straight up. But Curly Express, hello Dwight, nice to see you. Running some Pennsylvania stuff today. An S2 turbine, and I believe it's a Q1, which is a 4464. And you should see them going along behind me. They are DCC sound, and both of them have smoke, but I won't be running it with the smoke today because I haven't prepared. Richard decided that, yeah, it's warm enough now to get them out on the layout. And so he bought all the gear down, set it all up for me, which was great. The S1, Q1 and Q2 were all built on a single frame, unlike articulated engines built with two frames. Not familiar with the PIR big engines. Right. Yes. But when you look at this one, that's quite a monster. If that was all done on a single frame, that suggests that a lot of their track work in Pennsylvania was fairly straight. Because I know they've got 412.2s over in America, which could only really go on the very straight stuff. It's a Q2, not a Q1. Yeah. Yeah. So it's an S2 and a Q2. Yeah. So if I'm wrong about that, that's fine. I'm sure somebody will correct me. Q1 has the rear set reversed. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Right. So it's definitely a Q2 then, because you've got two sets of cylinders, 4 driving wheels, 2 sets of cylinders, 6 driving wheels, and then 4 under the cab, 4 bogey wheels under the cab. Woodthorpe International. Hello, Colin. Nice to see you. Let's try a little sound on it, and I hope you can still hear me. I have turned the sound down, which you can use Function 8 to do. The Loco, the 4462, 44, it's a 4464. Looks weird with me with a 10-day. It looks like over half of the length of the Loco alone. It probably is, because they had a fantastic amount of coal. And yes, this one, that's a coal burner, and the turbine is a coal burner. So yeah, they had huge tenders on the back for all of their running needs. Q1 can only be found in brass, never made in plastic. Brass hybrid. Yeah, well, this one is a brass hybrid. That's the BLI. I'm not sure about the Q. The S1 is definitely brass hybrid. I've got a feeling that is as well. So they're both brass hybrids, and were very expensive. I'm glad that didn't come out of my account. But yeah, fabulous engines. I mean, I really pink just to run these. I don't own them, but yeah, they're monsters. Right, let's try a few sounds on these. I hope you can hear that all right. This is right behind me now. I'll turn that one off a minute, and we'll try the other one, which sounds like this. Completely different sound. I'll just up the speed a bit. Robert's all right with the world. He's got his mug of tea. That smile means Andy sneaks down at 1 a.m. and just presses the whistle button. Yeah, right. Would I? Would I do that to you? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that to our neighbours. Or would I? Right, Hillcrest's going to salt dinner. We'll be lurking. Okay. We can hear that it's more a question if we can hear you. Just kidding. Yeah. Well, it's okay at the moment because I'm talking directly to you on the webcam. But yeah, they do have some funky sounds on them. With both of them going, it sounds like this. So yes, it's a bit of a cacophony. Yeah, so it's quite fulsome. Let's put it that way. Let's just go around the block and kill the sound. That's more like it. Andy Jobson. Hello, Andy. Hi. Nice to see you. That whistle, yeah, is pretty good. It's like nothing we've got over here, apart from the what do they call it? The USRA engines that we've got. Is it the S1? They sound very, very American, which is great because if you want to hear an American style engine in the UK, you can find a railway. In our case, it was the Churnick Valley Railway. They had an S1, and I loved it. That was the best value for money. S160. Thank you, Simon. Thank you. S160. And it was a cracker. It was everything that you'd enjoy hearing from an American locomotive whilst you were in the UK. Delft Junction Pete. Hello, Pete. Nice to see you. Running some Pennsylvania stuff of Richard's today. I'll admit the PR whistle sounds so beautiful, and I'm a B&O and C&O guy. Yeah, so that's Baltimore and Ohio. Yeah, Roger. Now, Baltimore and Ohio is in a very sort of blue outline, or it always was, I believe. Is that right? Also known as Big Jim's, the S160. And for those of you that don't know, Rapido are making an S160 in 00 gauge. Yes, I know there's one made by Roco, but it's a tender drive and HO gauge, and it's it looks like a Hornby halfway house. I'd rather have something that is powered in the engine so you can actually get the wheels slipping. Otherwise, you can have the ludicrous event of a locomotive being pushed round by its tender without its wheels actually rotating. Yeah. So that's what we're running today. Obviously, when I get the camera and place it down on the track, we should be able to hear the full gamut of sounds that it makes. I'll go through the list, which is quite large, of all the different sound functions. So Andy Dobson message retracted. Oh dear. That must have been a mistake. Probably spelling on the tippy tappy. But good to see you, Andy. And Pete. All blue for freight and blue and grey for passenger, I believe. Not 100%. That sounds about right, Kyle. It's just that I don't have any. They've... Oh, misspelling. Okay. Sidetracks. Sidetracks. Have I missed somebody? Is that Sidetrack 77? Sidetrack 77. Yes, indeed. Good morning. Hello, Holly. Nice to see you. Yes. So Pennsylvania today, and stock cars, box cars are being pulled by the Q2, which is a 4464, and on the other lane, I'm actually running these what we would call Bang Road. I think in America they have their trains running different directions than we do on different tracks. So Roy Dennis, hello, nice to see you. So I've gone Bang Road. I've turned all the signals to red because they'll obviously be going the wrong way, and I'm running them in true American. I don't know if Canadians do run the track a different way. Usually our up lines are the inside track and the down line is the outside track, but I've got them reversed today because I'm running American trains. So yes, they drive on the right. Yeah, okay. And we sort of drive on the left. Trains as well. I know it's all odd, but it adds a bit of spice to it all. Got lots of Andys in today. Yes, there's lots of Andys out there, and we all seem to like model trains. I don't know. Now, I forgot my photographs. I did dig out a wad of really old photographs, all in black and white, but I could easily go like that and show you a photograph. And it was of the Flying Scotsman at King's Cross that did its first private outing on May the 1st, 1968, and I just happened to be there. My dad was there with his camera, so we got these shots, and it was absolutely packed, and it does demonstrate just how packed it was. What I'll do, I'll show you those next Sunday, and I also found my scrapbook as well. But there's a game I've got, which was made in early to mid 60s called Railroader. And the artwork on the box is just fabulous. And it's like one of these more modern computer games, which is like an empire builder. But it was in a board game where you had little bits of track and you had to go across the country, dodging cowboys and Indians, sabotage and all this kind of thing. Top Shed board game I have somewhere. Yeah, that's another one, Top Shed. But this one was made by Waddington's, and it was called Railroader. And of course, the artwork of America on the front of it, and this 440, which is put on there, it's absolutely fabulous. And I've got the game somewhere, but I've just got to dig it out. So I'll do that next weekend. Hi, Robert. The weather's nice for working in the garden today. Who wants to work in the garden? The only thing I did with the garden is walk on top of it to get to the shed. But it's been so rainy and so windy that I'm just glad. Found a great deal yesterday. Got a locomotive with some cars for just €10, which is what's that, about £8? That's pretty good. I've been doing droppers today, a little like watching paint dry. Um, yeah, anything repetitive is going to be a little test, but quite therapeutic, Robert. It's and as Colin states, it's got to be done. So it's better to do things like that on a nice day rather than have the weight of the weather on top of you as well. I like the motor of grass, but too wet this morning. May try after this stream. Yeah, yeah. It depends. If there's a brisk breeze blowing as well as the sunshine, it will dry off in no time. Just had a quick look about the railroader. Impressive artwork on an American 440. Yes. Um, my uncle Wally, this very game, and of course they let me play with it every time I went over to my uncle's house. Um, didn't have a brilliant amount of play value, but to play it as a game, it took two people about 3 days to get through the game, and I think they only ever played it once and then learnt their lesson. It was a very long, drawn-out game. You were subject to sabotage, stealing, all kinds of things, hostile takeovers, cowboys and Indians, bridge collapses, you name it. It was all in this game, and it had like a volume of rules to go with it. So you really had to prepare yourself to play this game. You'd have to be an absolute game geek. 104 of them. Yeah, 52 pars, Robert. Mow the grass. Isn't that a Jewish informer? I could be wrong. Andy, a shilling in the meter needed. The internet is playing tricks with your sound. Oh, sorry about that, Robert. Let me just have a look and make sure my super microphone is working. Yeah, it's a little bit low. Let me try this. How's that? Is that any better? Now I have a problem because the locomotive does not fit any of my boxes. Yes, that's another problem. A lot of the manufacturers have been messing with the boxes just recently. People like a Cura scale. The boxes have got huge. They're about, I don't know, 7 inches high by about 10 inches wide by about 2 foot long. And yes, it was intermittent. Has anybody else got an intermittent sound problem? Apart from Robert? Let's see if we can just narrow this down. It's been another week of strange happenings with YouTube. It's not here. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Right, well, I have my my trusty cup of coffee, which I spilt on the way up here. Up with the cock at 6 o'clock. Cheers, guys. All is well with the world. Good here. And if you're hearing me in Canada, Holly, that's great. Okay, no, it sounds to be good. Okay, that's fine. The sound here is a bit choppy for me, but I usually assume the problem is on my end. Oh, okay. Perhaps YouTube's just having a hissy fit. But I know just before I came on, Mick92, hello. Quick, Mick, get the bar open. And Chief Broken Brain, nice to see you. Running some Pennsylvania stuff today, which is somebody recited for me. It's the Q2 and the S1. The S1's a steam turbine, and the Q2 is just this monster, a 4464. Apparently built on a single frame, so not really articulated. But I would imagine their bogies had quite a bit of, or the actual drivers had quite a bit of leeway. As you can see, The trains haven't parted company with themselves at the moment. Mystic Railroad John. Hello, John. Nice to see you. As I just explained, John, finally got the Q1, the S1 and the Q2 out. So the S1's the turbine, which will be coming around this way any second now. If it would move itself. And the other way is the Q2. So the steam turbine, there she goes. Monster tender, and the Pennsylvania coaches we've only just got, which are Walthers. They're Broadway Limited brass hybrids, both of them, I believe. And they don't actually belong to me, they belong to my son. But he very graciously put them on, tested them thoroughly, got all the rolling stock out, ready for today. So I'm very grateful to Richard for setting up the layout for me, which makes it, if I'm actually preparing everything Sunday morning, it's a lot less of a rush and a faff trying to get everything working properly, get everything out of the boxes. We always talk Hotdog, but it's nice to finally make a live stream without having to watch the replay. Nice one, Chief. So yeah, we love American engines, American Canadian engines. Some fabulous hardware has been produced by our American and Canadian cousins, and it's just nice to run a bit of it in parochial England. You know, we're in the middle of Jerkwater, England, and here we are running American trains. It's I know it's perverse, but I like it. Yeah, and as you can hear, not too many squeaks off of the wheels, considering they haven't been out of their boxes for some time. It's the detail on these models is absolutely fabulous. I'll drag you down so you can get a trackside shot. Obviously, the lights will be on red because I'm going Bang Road. Yeah, it's different. Obviously, I like the British stuff as well. Sometimes I'll mix American and British, one line American, one line British. Or I could say North American, yeah. I think I'll run a Japanese and a UK train eventually. I want a Class 66. Okay. Well, Ivo would be able to correct me, but there's a Class 66 made by, is it ESU, who make the Class 66? And that is in HO scale. So if you wanted a Class 66 and you wanted to run it with your American stock, you could get a scale Class 66. Yes, you could. This show is just not British. It's not cricket, Artie. Welcome in. Mixing nationalities on your track, gasp. How awful. I'm a heretic. Yeah, I suppose I am. But quite proud of it. Southern Pacific, blood nose livery. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm digging that. And Digger Evans. Yes, ESU has a European 66 with A/C and air conditioning and horns on the roof. Okay, well, there you go, John. It would probably be expensive, but let's get you down trackside so you can see a bit more of the action. Here we go. Forgive the vomit can. Right on. Oh, that's a monster. What do you think of that, guys? Does that actually say Coors? It says Coors Golden on it, or Canadian. And here comes the turbine. Absolute monster. And these are the heavyweight coaches we've been waiting for. Oh, buffering. Oh no. Let me move my... I'll just move my PC a minute. I don't run Steve Locomotives that much, but I do want a Flying Scotsman and a Japanese D51 class someday. Sounds all right. What have you, in God's name, have you done to your 10 coach rate? It kept parting company, Rich. So I just took a couple of the coaches off because it was under quite a bit of strain. Would anybody like to hear a little sound with it? Right, here we go. Here comes the turbine. Just to give you an idea, those two engines, both running with sound, is pulling about 0.4 of an amp. But those trains are pretty heavy, so they're both under load. Just try another view on the other side. Here we go. About there should catch it right. A little bit of photo bombing there. I gather that's the bullet train in N scale. That's got to be right, isn't it, Colin? Yeah, engage. They sort of blocked in America for loco photo bombs the other. Not sure on that one. Okay, just slow that one down a little. So in theory, that should make it round now. And the next trip round, you should see the S2 uninterrupted. And the Pennsylvania caboose. Right, now the S2 turbine should make it before the other one comes around. Let's just give you a panorama. A panorama. Here we go. What a monster. Scott Rails, hello Dave. Nice to see you, man. Just bring this around back a little bit. And here comes the stock cars. I believe, I can't remember. Who makes those? Those are. I believe they're Proto 2000 in the days when they were making those. And here comes the turbine again. It's a 686. Absolute monster. Let's drag you around over to the other side. You should be able to see a little better there. There we go. The turbine. Carbon. There's a little bit more sound. Ooh, a little more buffering. Sorry about that, folks. It's probably Sunday and everybody's using their Wi-Fi and stuff and their internet. That's a monster, though. Stand by. Here come the Coors wagon. Hey. Is there any more buffering now, Colin? As if I would, Artie. Two billboard reefers. No, going great. Oh, that's good. Yeah, the white cars, they're all reefers and they are NTH. We managed to get a set of them. Is it a set or two sets? And yeah, they're really great. Yeah, Archie, you certainly seem to have your fair share of rain. And Grandpa Rails, hello JD. This should be right up your street. Come to England to watch the American trains. Get a load of this, neighbours. Here we go, JD. This is what the steam turbine sounds like. Nice. Closet branch. I'd like to say hello to Uncle Wally. Hello, Uncle Wally. I wish my Uncle Wally was still alive. He was a brilliant tool maker. but he always wanted to do electronics. And then when I started doing electronics, he gave me as much help as he possibly could. He even helped me get my first job. So I'm quite indebted to my Uncle Wally. You need some more rain, Artie. Kick some of ours, please. No, I don't think that would go down well. Recall. Now you can actually get to see what they actually sound like. I think there's a tiny bit of squeak on the turbine. You folks have no idea what Joyce mode is. You're right, Anthony. We really don't. But it'll be fun finding out. Let's get a bit more sound on there. That's the only problem. When the microphone feels that it's being overpowered, it turns itself down a bit, which is a shame. And I have to keep turning it up. Yeah, probably needs a little lubrication on the turbine. But touch wood, everything seems to be running okay at the moment. Visitor mode, clean all the crap that was there that was okay before. Yeah, I understand that, Robert. I'll let Anthony answer that one, as he is in the best place to answer that. But from what I understand, Joyce is getting slowly better, which is good. We want you both in fine fettle so you can come over here and tear it up again. And slowly getting some stamina back. Yeah. Let me just adjust the camera a little bit. That's it. It's not quite so wonky now. Yeah, I think that just needs a subtle bit of lubrication. Somewhere on the driving wheels, it's a little needs a little bit of lube. I've been saving all the dust for my scenery. Yeah, I like it. Trains Kits, hello there. Nice to see you. Yeah, it's when you're ill, it's difficult to know where the bottom is. So when things start getting better, it's very much a relief. Now it's a bird chirping away. Yeah, okay, Robert. Looking at the frequency of the squeak, it's certainly on one of the driving wheels. So a tiny touch of oil will be needed on that. So I'm sure we can get that sorted out. Right, let me just grab my camera. Here we go. There you can look at my ugly mug. There we go. Oh, we are back again. Well, everybody, my allotted time is up. I haven't seen anything from Swindon Dave that he's going live, or I haven't seen anything come up like that. So as far as I know, I got a feeling Dave said last week that he wasn't going to be doing. He was going to be doing some other things. Yeah, he might come on, but I suppose watch this space. Can I just thank everybody for coming along and making it the event that it is. So thanks everybody for pitching in. It's always great to read the chat in the stream. There's always something different there. I'll be going to bed after this show. Okay, Artie. As long as it's not a waterbed. Cheers, Colin. Thanks for coming in. And Kyle and Digger and all of the gang. It's great to have your company and to chew the fat. I'm not sure what I'll be doing in the way of running next week. May well be England, Wales and Scotland livery, but we'll see. I know I've got an engine on the way. It's I know I've already got one, but it's an Alco 260, which I spotted on the internet on Fleabay. So I got that for less than 50 quid. It doesn't have DCC in it, DCC sound. It's just a basic loco. But looking at the junction between the loco and the tender, there is the wiring there for DCC. So all I have to do is swap the engine and tender. It's of the same road, which I think is Boston and Maine. I was never really happy with the locomotive that was on there. It was always a little bit jerky, and I think I know why. But in order to get some spare parts, I bought this other model as a going concern, and then I'll fart around with it and see what I can do. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming. Anthony, give my best to Joyce and keep her tucked up and make sure she doesn't do anything strenuous. And I hope there's a continued improvement there. Artie, you go and get some sleep. Scott Rouse Dave will be live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, new loco to reveal. Well, I'll probably watch that on Monday, Dave, because it's something like 2 in the morning if you go on at 8 p.m. So I'll catch up with that when decent time allows. Kyle, wiring, cleaning, scenery, maintenance, yeah, all things to do. Thanks everybody for coming, and I'll catch up with you next in the streams and next Sunday. I hope you have a great week. Everybody try and stay safe, and don't do anything silly, or don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I'll catch up with you next week. So why have I got that there? That's better. Right, take it easy, guys. I believe Dwight Curley's on this evening, so tune in there and I shall see you there. And thanks everybody for coming. Ciao for now.